Hello, sports fans from my outside my patio, and happy Memorial Day weekend. Hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope you're enjoying your barbecues, enjoying time outside with family and friends. And welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. This is kind of my first outdoor podcast, so I've been wanting to do one of these for a long time. We're going to talk some Browns news, and we have we have some NBA news, and which along with Cavs news, and MLB news, along with Tribe news, and some NHL news. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Which NFL player has won the most playoff games in history? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, we're going to move on to some Browns news right now. As you know, Jarvis Landry decided to have hip surgery during the offseason, and his rehab from the injury away from the Cleveland Browns facility is not a problem. Now, since joining the NFL in 2014, Cleveland Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry has played in every game of the regular season. As the league has become more cautious about injuries, Landry has managed to take care of his body in order to perform with his team. However, Landry played the entire 2019 season for the Browns with an injured hip, which required the 27-year-old to have surgery in the offseason to repair the injury. Since the surgery, Landry has been rehabbing in Florida. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing the NFL to shut down team facilities and residents across the United States to adhere to stay-at-home orders, the belief is that Landry is recovering from the surgery. Recovery from the surgery, may have been hindered. Landry said during a Zoom press conference on Wednesday, he's been working out at a performance center in Florida, giving him access to equipment to help aid his rehab. The most important aspect of his rehab is that consistently hearing from Browns medical staff to ensure rehab process is going well. Landry has said Wednesday that the Browns head physical therapist has been checking in to see Landry's progress. He's doing an amazing job checking in with me every morning and every afternoon to make sure I'm okay, sending me things to do. If I have any problems or soreness or tightness, he said, I've also been working with one of my primary doctors, Dr. Chad Teague. We have progress, and it's going great. That was Landry via Cleveland.com. He told Cleveland.com that. With the pandemic going on 2 months now, Landry has already cut out a large chunk of his rehab process. He has said from the start that his plan was to be back by August, and he believes he is on target to reach that timeline. Now, why his rehab is not a problem for the Browns, ideally, Landry would have been at the Cleveland Browns facility from time to time during the rehab process, so the team could physically view Landry's progress. But for the most part, the team has been restricted to do so through players who are rehabbing from the injury prior to the pandemic are able to be on the team in the team's facility. However, since Landry has been able to work with his personal doctor in Florida, as well as the Browns' physical therapist, keeping his daily tabs on Landry's progress, there is reason to be confident in Landry's return from his injury. He is clearly still putting the work in to ensure he is staying in shape, which will help turn up the gears once the Browns are able to return to the team's facility to start their camps. Had Landry's rehab been limited due to the pandemic, then there would have been cause for concern for the Browns. Now, what's also important is Landry is an ultra competitive person. Now, wants to be on the field. Once the regular season begins, he may be cautious, about his rehab, but it's only to ensure. But it is only to ensure, he will not suffer any setbacks. While Landry is not working out with rehab currently, with Baker Mayfield and the other Browns receivers in Texas to continue building chemistry, on that, I do apologize, throughout the offseason, he has shown and proven a proven connection with Mayfield already. Landry has posted 164 receptions and 2,150 yards with the Browns. Most of those throws come from Mayfield. He may not be working out with Mayfield currently, but that should not hurt their chemistry when this season rolls around. The pandemic shutting down teams' facilities was not ideal for teams to prepare for the regular season and for players to get their bodies ready for another tough season. However, there should not be much concern about Landry's rehab from his surgery away from the Browns facilities. And I think I am confident, the media is confident, fans are confident that Jarvis Landry will return to the team and for the regular season for the preseason, besides the regular season, from his injuries. So I really think he is going to be be back with the team in August by that timeline. I'll keep you updated on this story. We'll get to the Cavs and NBA news and MLB news and NHL news just a sec. But first, it is time now to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. Which NFL player has won the most playoff games in history? And if you said Tom Brady, you are correct. During his illustrious NFL career with the New England Patriots, which thus ran for 18 years, Tom Brady built up a resume which has some supporting the idea, of him being the greatest quarterback of all time. And as you know, Tom Brady is now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now, the NBA commissioner and NBA executives are in talks about the NBA season resuming at the Disney's ESPN complex facility in Orlando, Florida. And and that could be in mid to late July. And we know that the facilities are going to allow players back in beginning June 1st or at the end of May, beginning June 1st. That includes the Cavs, but it's only going to be single players at a time to really get their bodies back in shape to finish out the 2019 regular season. And they hope to do so in June or in mid to late June or in mid to late July. The question is, will they finish out the NBA regular season or go right to the postseason? That is the big question. So we'll have to wait and see, and I'll keep you updated on this developing story. Now, the San Francisco Giants CEO Larry Bayer really believes that the shortened 2020 Major League Baseball season will get underway July 4th weekend. Now, they will have spring training, some preseason training, spring training, before the season gets underway to really get the players back in shape. And really get them ready to go for which will be a shortened 2020 season if it does get underway on 4th of July weekend, and we will see if that happens. So I'll keep you updated on that story. And the Tribe could have, with this coronavirus pandemic affecting the season, the Tribe could have a few players that could be traded, forced to be traded. One of them being Francisco Lindor, and there's been rumors about that. And one of them being Carlos Santana, and I don't know if that's such a good idea, because he's been one of the times big-time catchers behind the plate. And Brad Hand, who has been an all-star, and the backbone of the Tribe's bullpen, it was an all-star last season. And so this could really be some trades that can really be forced for the Tribe to make, but we'll see what happens. I'll let you know when any updates come in. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101 from my outside on my patio, and this beautiful sunny day, and summer-like day, as a matter of fact. Continue. Happy Memorial Day. Enjoy your time outside with the barbecues and your family and friends. And I'll be back with another podcast later this week. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.